This is the little two-bedroom house where my sister and I shared a bedroom, and we grew up here, and I was constantly writing. I wrote, kept a diary for over a year when I first discovered that my mother had inoperable cancer. And those excerpts from that particular journal are published in my book, The Sunroom. I also wrote this very long short story, which is an antique now, actually 77 pages. It was my first big project. This is also the house where my mother shared intimately with me about my courageous grandmother, Ada Buckwalter, who was excommunicated from her Old Order Mennonite church and eventually shunned when she married a preacher man instead of the farmer her father had chosen for her. The Shunning, my first novel for adults, was loosely based on my grandmother Ada's Shunning. My sister and I love to make up plays and write short stories and poetry. Our goal was to make my mother smile because she was in so much pain from her surgery and from her illness. Much like the sisters in The Little Women, my sister and I were constantly entertaining and doing plays for her. And those trees right over there, I often just sat right under them for hours, writing and writing until my mother would call us in for supper. This is the steepest hill known to man or woman. Actually, I thought that when I was a child. And it truly was a very exciting day when I decided that, you know, if we could sled down this hill and we could bike down this hill, why couldn't we go down in a wagon? And so I pleaded with my cousin Joyce, and we made a running leap here and ran as fast as we could, jumped into the wagon. I was unable to negotiate the turn at the bottom, saw a car coming, saw my whole future life pass before me, and we rolled. Our bodies flew, and we really were bruised and battered. But when my father came running to help us, I felt as though the Lord had permitted us to survive. And it occurred to me, how could I think of dying when I hadn't finished that manuscript back at the house? These are the very steps that I sat on every day after school waiting for the school bus. And not ever one to want to waste any time. I was either reading these childhood books, my favorites, or I was writing my serious stories and my silly poems. And I was also very much of a people watcher. I would study how my classmates interacted with each other, not just looking at their eye color, their hair color, or the set of their jaw, but seeing how their inflections interacted with what they were saying and their mannerisms. Since it's a windy day today, this is perfect. I wrote a poem called The Windy Day back when I was 11 years old. It goes like this. It's windy outside today. The trash cans are blown away. That beast was a fright all through the night, and some lines are down, they say. Grapefruit halves lie here and yon, and sports cars that were parked are gone. There's sand in my eyes. No girls look at guys. It's not even safe to yawn.